At this stage, we're ready to start having all these pieces start to fall into place. We have to look at a couple of things like the arrangement of our layers here. What we're going to do is deal with what's called a clipping group in a moment here, and it has to do with how the pencils and the text are going to be interacting with one another. I'll rename this to pencils. I'm going to bring it up above this I could revise the world layer. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring the cursor right in between the two layers. I'm going to hold down the Option key. And if you notice, the icon has changed into this little box and arrow that's sort of poking to the left and down. And when I do so, we start to see what this clipping group is. And what it's doing is it's saying the image of the pencils is only going to show through the areas that are black or technically have information on that layer. Remember, the checkered board means this information is transparent. So when I turn the pencils layer on, we're seeing the pencils through the text. Here's our background layer. I'm calling it background because that text becomes suppressed. Then with the clipping group and the quote combined, we now start to get a lot of that interference of how we start to see what happens in Joe Wardell's work. You can see why I'm not too thrilled about what's happening up here, but I'm going to continue to run with it. In the simplest sense, though, this is all that you have to do for the project. I think what's important, though, is to consider what are some things we can do to help push this further and make it more visually dynamic.